Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I will be reviewing What the Heck's Going On, which is the 6th episode of Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? So yeah, let's get straight into the review. The episode opens up as we see this mysterious castle. It's also the castle from the intro, just in case you guys didn't know that. And then I really like the music, by the way, in the background. And then we see this creepy guy. Looks like he's like, I don't know, like a trance, walking through this creepy graveyard. So it's like a really creepy scene. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. And then it cuts to the gang who are driving to the Weatherby estate to see their friend. And of course Shaggy and Scooby are doing some like burger hijinks at the back of the mystery machine. And they spot someone going into the old mansion. And they kind of think that's kind of creepy and suspicious. Anyway, they arrive at the Weatherby estate, and they find their friend. They speak to her about the person who was going into the mansion, and apparently they've come at the wrong time, like this weekend, because they've been like hearing like ghostly noises coming from like the mansion at night, and it's like really creepy. So they go up to take a look at the mansion, and they also say that Uncle Stewart's missing, the uncle. So when they go to the mansion, Daphne spots someone in like the dark lighting, and it's Uncle Stewart, who's been turned into an old man. And he looks very different from when we first saw him. Anyway, he walked through the graveyard into the mansion and saw the ghost of Elias Kingston. And the ghost of Elias Kingston, because it is the Kingston mansion, of course, turns him old as a warning to the rest of the family. And the sheriff then he rings for the sheriff, but of course the telephone was like dead and wasn't working. Anyway, Scooby's going to stand first watch to see if the ghost decides to come back, and then we hear some ghostly noises again, and Uncle Stewart, who's like an old man, goes off to the mansion, and then Scooby gets like a trumpet and starts blowing it and gets the gang's attention, and they go up to the old Kingston mansion. Now inside, Shaggy's wearing roller skates because he's not taking any chances. That ghost must be pretty fast, he's assuming, so he's gonna go past on roller skates nice and quickly. And as they walk past this bookshelf, a sliding door opens, and we see I think it was like I don't remember her name, like the gang's friend tied up, and the ghost of Elias Kingston comes out, grabs one of them, like, I don't know, it's like one of them things that like push out wind. I'm not 100% sure what they're called. Anyway, he pushes Shaggy, and of course he's on roller skates. He crashes into a bathtub, and then we see Scooby looking for food. He finds this bone, but then we see a bulldog come up behind him, and the dog then chases after Scooby, and then we see the ghost of Elias Kingston pointing at Scooby because the bulldog lost him, and then he smashes like this crate on the bulldog, and he can't see where he's going, and smashes into the bathtub with Shaggy, and then they all meet back, and they say they found a clue, because why would the ghost of Elias Kingston need like a bulldog? And then Shaggy starts saying, what was Uncle Stewart last wearing when he disappeared? Because he then basically explains what he was wearing to Fred, and Fred says that's what he was wearing, and points down to the chair, and it is the ghost. It's Uncle Stewart, but he's like dead. He's like a skeleton, so it's like really, really freaky. And he's pretty much like turning way older. And then Fred says, we got to find some more clues. And Shaggy points behind him, and the ghost has his hand on him. And it's the ghost of Elias Kingston. Scooby goes and runs away, goes into this like closet and puts a sign on the door saying out to lunch. Then the ghost speaks and tells the gang that if they don't leave the mansion, they will grow old. Then he tells them to go, and then he just walks off. I'm surprised the gang just let him walk off. Anyway, they go out to they find the sign saying out to lunch. They guess Scooby's out there, and he's in there hiding. And then we cut to this other scene where there's like this crypt, and the gang spot the ghost of Elias Kingston going in, so that then they go in, and in there Shaggy finds this book about crystal ball ology, really, and Velma says like they went past Swampy's like place on the way to their friend's place, so they assume they should go there to look for more clues. Then like that they're looking for another way out of like the crypt, and like Scooby like bangs on a wall, and finally the gang get out of the crypt and they go to the Swampy's place. Now when they arrive at the Swampy's place, there's no one around there to basically run it, so Scooby decides to run it, and Shaggy throws his voice as Scooby to make it sound more accurate as one of the customers comes in, so they've got to quickly like pretend to go along with it all, basically. And the customer asks basically for like a look into the crystal ball. Scooby basically tells her that there's a man in her future dancing with each other, and then after he paints her palm red, she leaves the Swampy place, and that's it for now. And then after she leaves, the ghost decides to somehow be inside the crystal ball, and the table starts to float and chase after the gang. Now this lasts for a little while until the gang eventually Scooby smashes into it, and they look for the ghost underneath like the big mess, but the ghost isn't there. And then nearby they spot like a whole bunch of like moving suitcases, and like there's a whole bunch of makeup and stuff in there, so I think that's pretty suspicious. Shaggy also finds a TV camera, and that's how the ghost was able to project his face onto the crystal ball. And Fred also shows us with a little demo of Scooby on the crystal ball. Then they finally think they've solved the mystery and they've found enough clues to turn the tables on the ghost, so they go back to the mansion, trying to bait him out with a fake fortune, and there the ghost believes it is the real fortune and shows up, and he tells Shaggy and Scooby to stay before he looks at it. When he does look at it, a little clown on a spring bobs up and squirts water at him, and Shaggy and Scooby run before he can react, and the ghost then tells him they're going to turn him to bones like they did to Uncle Stewart. And then they hide like behind this curtain and put like a big eye in there, and when he smashes when he pretends to smash Shaggy and Scooby, smashes into the iron. Then more hijinks occur where a giant Scooby appears. Multiple Elias Kingstons appear to try and scare the ghost of Elias Kingston away. And now this giant Scooby is chasing him, and he runs into the bookshelf where he had Sharon, I think it was. I think that's the gang's friend's name. Sharon tied up, but inside it's actually Uncle Stewart as a skeleton, and then he runs up the corridor and they throw a net on him. So they captured the ghost. Now when they unmask the ghost, they take the makeup off the ghost. It turns out to be Uncle Stewart. Now Sharon explains that she saw Uncle Stewart's wig blow off and knew that he wasn't old, so he had to take her prisoner. He's trying to scare them away so he could get the fortune and basically be pretty rich. It turns out he was just doing all that, and then
Need any introduction? As soon as we clean him up, I'm sure you'll recognize him. There, look familiar?
Uncle Stewart!
Like in person. He thought he could scare you into giving up the family fortune.
That ghostly wailing was only a recording, and by a clever use of makeup, he made himself look old. When I came downstairs to investigate a noise, I saw Uncle Stewart's wig blow off. I knew he wasn't old.
So he had to take you prisoner.
But where does the Swami come in? What better way for a swindler to disappear? Uncle Stewart, why did you do it?
Well, I guess he can explain it to the sheriff when he gets here. I bet you kids are starving.
Groovy!
Zoinks! That's...
Scooby goes and has all the lunch, and Shaggy wants to have some food too, but Scooby comes up and he's eating the turkey, the last bit of turkey, concluding the episode off. So a pretty nice episode there. I give it a good solid 8.5 out of 10. Definitely one of the more spookier episodes from this series. I like how they pretended, Uncle Stewart pretended that he killed himself pretty much with the skeleton. I like how they actually took it that far. That's pretty dark and scary, especially if kids were watching this. As a kid, I thought this episode was pretty spooky and definitely very, very creepy. With the way it opens up. It's just an amazing way it opens up. The setting of the mansion, and the creepy crypt and the graveyard. It's just very, very good. Definitely one of the better episodes from this series. There is a lot of good episodes, and this one was very, very good. Elias Kingston, of course, has already appeared on the channel. As the first episode of Be Cool Scooby-Doo also featured Elias Kingston. So it's not his first appearance on the channel, but yeah, definitely was his first appearance on Scooby-Doo. So I hope you enjoyed the episode. Stay tuned for tomorrow, where I will be reviewing Never Ape and Ape Man. But until then, I'll see you guys next time.
Evening, please be seated.
Oh, Swami, tell me, what do you see in the crystal ball?
My reflection.
Your reflection? My word.
No, wait. I see a tall, handsome man in your future. And you're dancing together cheek to cheek. Now he's whispering something to you.
He is. What is the dear boy saying?
Get off my foot.
Oh, enough of this. I want my palm read.
Yes, ma'am. You did say red.
How dare you?
How about that? All that advice and she didn't even pay us a dime.